So here we see the cornea is the most anterior portion of the eye where light first enters. The main function of this segment of the eye is for refraction of light. So outside of this, we have the surrounding portion of the cornea and the outermost part of around the eye, and that's called the sclera, and that's normally continuous with the cornea, but we cut it out for this dissection. Here, the sclera offers protection and helps to form the actual eye itself. Within the cornea is the iris, which functions to open and close the pupil to regulate how much light may enter the eye. The iris is also what makes your eyes look colored. The opening within the iris that changes size is called the pupil, and generally we see this as black because light cannot escape as it enters. The zonula ciliaris are fibrous strands that suspend the lens and control lens accommodation. The lens then allows for accommodation to occur, and that gives the ability for your eyes to adjust from seeing things from far away to seeing things close up, and vice versa. But as people age, this lens becomes more stiff, and that makes them have the need for glasses. The front portion of the eye is suspended in a fluid called aqueous humor, which is primarily made up of water and functions to deliver nutrients to the anterior portion of the eye, and it also helps maintain pressure in this area. It can't be seen here just because it's mainly made up of water, so it's not very visible. The lens rests in a hyaloid fossa, which is in the indentation within the eye that would be seen if the vitreous humor were still intact. The vitreous humor is the gelatinous fluid here, and it's housed in the back of the eye and is housed in the vitreous body. The vitreous fluid helps keep the shape of the eye as well as helps transmit light to the retina. And within the vitreous body, we also see the retina, and that's that fibrous stuff right there. And that's what receives light from the lens and converts light into neural images to be transported to the brain through the optic nerve. The retina is made up of rods which help perceive bright and darkness, which are also seen in the peripheries, as well as cones which help differentiate color and is seen in only the non-peripheries of the eye. The choroid, which is the black metallic color looking in the back of the eye, and that helps transport nutrients to the retina as well as helps vessels and nerves to the ciliary body and iris. The tapetum lucidum is the colorful portion of the back of the eye, and it functions to allow for seeing light in low light situations and helps with night vision. This is also the reason why we see glare in the eyes of animals when we take pictures of them at night. When the retina converges to meet with the optic nerve, a blind spot is formed, and we can see that dot right there is the blind spot. This is why we have an area in our vision that we cannot see, and in accommodation, our brain predicts what should be there and tricks you into believing what you see something while moving across this blind spot. So finally, we have the optic nerve, which is on the outside of the body, the eye's body there, and that delivers visual stimulus to the brain. This is also called the second cranial nerve.